Hi guys, Mrs. Hulst here. Today I am going to share with you how to make one of my family's favorite dishes, and that is homemade mac and cheese. Now, I know you guys can go and for like $1 get a box mac and cheese, but it is not the same and it doesn't taste as good. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and you don't have to just go to the store for the most part to get the ingredients because mostly you have them at home. So to do your homemade mac and cheese, these are the ingredients that you'll need. You'll need about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter. You'll need 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour. You'll need milk or half and half, either one is fine. You'll need your macaroni, and I'm going to use rotini because those are the swirly ones and they hold the mac and cheese inside the little swirls. And then you also need your favorite cheese. It doesn't matter which cheese you use. I'm going to use just the mild cheddar cheese. It is something that I happen to have on hand. You also can add some salt and pepper or some chili powder to add a little more flavor to your mac and cheese. Step 1 is to take approximately 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter, and this doesn't have to be exact, and put it in a small saucepan and melt the butter. Make sure that your heat is on low heat, and when your butter is melted, then you can take approximately 2 heaping spoonfuls of flour, and keeping the on low heat, you're going to mix the flour and the butter together to kind of make a paste. On medium to low heat, you're going to heat up the half and half and the butter and flour mixture, and you're going to want to whisk this together so that the flour and butter mixture does not get lumpy. Once it has come to a more thick consistency, so right now it's rather thin, and it will thicken up to a real thick gravy. When that happens, then you turn your heat off. Be careful, you want to watch this all the time because it may go quickly and then start to burn. The mixture is now real thick, and I immediately turned off the heat so that it wouldn't burn. And now I add the cheese to melt. The cheese is probably the most important part about your mac and cheese. It all depends on what cheese you like to eat. You can use any combination of cheeses. You can stick with the traditional cheddar. Just make sure that you're not using like processed American cheese because that doesn't melt as well and it's not as nice. I do find that generally starting with a block of cheese and grating it yourself melts better than if you use pre-grated cheese. But right now I have pre-shredded cheese in my fridge, so that's what I'm going to use. It'll work just fine. It just may not be quite as smooth. I add about 1 cup of this shredded cheese, and then I mix it in to melt. The heat is no longer on because I don't want to cook it, I just want to melt it. But if you're finding that it's not melting very quickly, then you can always turn it on a real low heat in order to finish melting the cheese. Halfway there. So now that I'm at this point, I'm finding that my mixture is just a little too thick than what I wanted to. So I'm just going to use a little bit more milk, and I'm just going to thin it out a little bit. All right, there, now we have some awesome cheese sauce. It is just the right consistency for me. It is smooth, and it is cheesy, and I can't wait to add it to my mac and cheese so then I can eat it for dinner. Before adding my cheese sauce to my macaroni, I went ahead and added a little bit of cayenne, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper. So I made the pasta according to the box directions, and now I can add my cheese sauce to my macaroni. So amazingly yummy and cheesy.
I could leave it just like this, or I can add some breadcrumbs to the top of it and put it in the oven and toast it for a little while. But it is so good just the way it is. Everybody always eats it all, and I never have any leftovers. So, if you guys ever want mac and cheese and don't have one in a box, now you know how you can do this with some of the things that you find around your house. It makes a great side dish. Happy eating!